Hey everybody, it's Dune back with another episode of Factorio Megabase. Last episode, I spent some time in the creative mode mod removing defenses. RPG wise, I made peace with the biters. Reality wise, I disabled them. And there was no longer a need for the defenses. As you can see, my UPS is it fluctuates between 16 but it goes as high as 20 at times. So, removing a whole lot of things that weren't being used any longer has helped. Kind of a side benefit I was kind of looking around before I started streaming is we were really backed up on blue chips, and now we're not. We actually have an average of 45,000, which means there's enough on hand for at least 2 trains to show up, and we would be able to fill them completely. It has a side benefit of also our yellow science was sort of hindered because we weren't getting enough blue chips, and here we are. We have enough blue chips. It's kind of a little crazy. Not sure what's kind of happened. Like while we were removing all those defenses, blue chips caught up. We did add another green chip train to that, and that could have made a difference. Things like that. I'm glad. One of the problems with a build this size is it's very organic. Like I could make a change to copper or something like that, and it could affect blue chips way down the line. And that's kind of what we did sort of recently. We rebuilt the copper in the north, and that could very well have triggered. We're doing really well now with let's show it here. We have 186,000 in green chips. We have 240,000. This is average with red chips, and so an increase in blue chips could be the byproduct of that. It was just kind of slow, and it's easy to panic. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta fix this and I gotta fix that. So where I'm going to start with is we have a few things in yarn looking like they're depleting. We have stone here. This is a build. So I look at this, and I know already that we actually gave that spot, that train that's going to station 5, station 5, stone 5, to this place. So we already fixed that one. We're just kind of waiting for that to finish up, which it says 17 minutes, so it's probably going to be this episode. And then the next one is a coal outpost. This one's not too far away, in fact. This one there's actually a couple here and here. We might open that one. There's a few coals I'm still trying to work on, but at the same time, I probably will build onto that. We have this one here that's actually not doing anything anymore because it was feeding into an artillery factory that we disabled. It had batteries to it, steel, and what else? I'm not sure right offhand, but probably petroleum or something like that, because there was sulfur needed. So we have that coal to think about. We also have another stone here. Actually, this one is one we've known about for some time. I actually had to remove a whole bunch of miners because all these bots were pulling from these chests instead of from this. So here comes that stone train. It's got a few pieces left, like 277 pieces, and until one of these 2 miners pulls those out, we just gotta wait. And then having a iron mine in the north. So in here we actually have known about for a while. Used to have like 3 trains. We only have 1 coming here now. He only comes here. We do have a new build. I think it's that train. Let's verify that train. Where is its destination? Yeah, iron unload northeast, which is actually way over here. We did build a. In fact, we don't have any trains coming here currently. So this is 113. Kind of crazy to add that. This still has 16,000. Okay. Which is really over times 10, 160,000. As you can see, the train's almost 7.6 thousand on it. It's debatable whether I should pick, make that train go to that new spot. But kind of like while it's loading very slow. Let's add it. Station 113. Very full. And then we'll just add a wait condition. 30 seconds. And it will go to that new place. And then these chests can fill up while it's waiting. While it's going there and unloading and then coming back. And so it kind of gives us a chance to work. A couple tiny small patches. Are these being mined? Bots. Like, I don't know which is kind of like getting those, but at the same time, they're tiny. And one last one in the northeast. This one's going to take a while. Still got over 80,000 on it. Even though this is actually right near the iron unload. There's actually a train coming in now. 80,000 and a few miners working on that. Problem is, these bottom ones don't really work as much as because of the density and productivity of the miner itself. So like, just so much ore comes out. Alright, well, we've looked over those. We really only got to fix one of them. That guy might take a while to load. Like, he's actually got quite a bit in his chest. It's probably this last one that doesn't have that many. It's actually kind of difficult for this train. He probably... I'm not sure which way it exits. Kind of gave him 2 options, but he's coming here, so he really is aiming for this. It really doesn't matter, other than he probably has to do a backwards loop around one of those. Just awkward placement. This intersection wasn't here when this was built, so... Or if it was probably just a straightaway when it was built. Alright, well, I'm not sure I necessarily have plans. One plan, of course, would be to increase science demand. We've kind of just gotten ahead, or I wouldn't call this necessarily ahead. What are we missing here? Copper cable. How many trains we got carrying copper cable here too? Actually, one thing I thought about is we changed this to using copper cable instead of copper directly. I think that's one thing I want to switch back. Copper cable is just either that or we just got to increase its build even more. Like, I mean, it makes plenty of copper cable. Well, actually, it's not showing that now. Station 1 only has like 10 grain on it. That's not including what's in these requester chests. How much copper here is in the south? Plenty to supply that. So it could be a lack of copper trains. And there are two. That second one's going to go to the other one. No, that's not what I'm looking for. How many copper trains? We have 4. I'm not sure. But I don't know. I'd like to work on this somehow. Like, do I increase copper cable? Or do I go back to the way it was? Because this is required, like, there used to be only like 6 copper trains coming to this and doing everything needed, and now there's 7 copper cable trains and not doing everything needed. And then we also, what did I just say, 4 more copper trains to supply this. I mean, sure, we need some copper cable for yellow science, so that could be, I don't know, I just kind of feel like I should go back to the way it was. It was working. This was an attempt to see if this would be better, because, you know, we don't have to, we can have all these making green chips, but as you can see, they're not all active. Like, it's just not enough copper cable comes in to serve all of them. It's hard to tell, like, you know, it's showing like a million, but that was, you know, if you look, that's probably included the copper cable. It's weird, like how one of them's only at 16,000. That's weird. I wonder if that was just broken when it was actually making copper cable. So let's watch this. It was 32,000 copper cable. I mean, from the time the train pulls in until it leaves, like, of course, all of them are working. Well, except for that guy. It's working. But literally, they don't work for very long. Like, they get a couple pieces of copper cable and they go and then they stop. They go and then they stop. Like, the bots just literally can't keep them happy. They go and then they stop. Which means that these are making the green chips absolutely as fast as this can unload, and like there's 6,000 on hand, 6,000 copper cable. So if we could keep these supplied, then technically they would. But, you know, I could probably be doing this better with, these guys are just sort of sitting here half the time, roughly, or more. This will kind of go back the way it was. Kind of hate that at the same time. I'm going to do it. Do I need to bring any supplies? I don't think so. I don't think so. So this would be Green Circuit South. Station. do like the UPS is up. Gosh, it was down as low as 15, maybe even 14 before removing all those defenses. So we've definitely seen a boost. It was really definitely helpful getting rid of that. I probably should get rid of these. I've been kind of waiting, you know, to open up another smelter of some kind. But these are probably playing effect, even though they're not doing anything. Playing effect in how things operate, or how UPS. And I'm kind of aware, like, I put in a lot of signals places. These probably play a part too, like, I don't know how much, but they've probably got to play a part of some kind. So, what's the, I guess, kind of like I did before, I should set these trains on manual. Let's just start at the top, kind of like I did before. Kind of gotta be careful, the trains will come in. It's empty? Yes. All right. So, roughly, it's kind of hard to get rid of all these iron plate in these chests. They're going to be there. You just might have to take them out manually. So I'm going to say, gosh, I don't know how many I need, but we're going to change this to cable. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know we're going to probably need more than that, but we're just going to go with that. And then so might be able to just copy this. Surprised these bots aren't taking this iron plate from me, but I can just throw it all in there. The bots will give me some back. Oh, I got a ton in my outbox. And we have a total of a bunch. Like, seriously, what, 7 of them? These ones are still loading up. We might as well actually, kind of like we did last time, we need a place for them to be parked while they're not in use. Like so, we need kind of a little stacker. So we need to be able to park, yeah, I think 3 of them. Or we send them straight for copper right now. No, I don't want any confusion until it's all switched over. I set that to manual, right? Iron train coming in. We can inch up to the intersection though. Kind of like these guys pulling all that iron from me. Is this empty? Yes. One more train to unload. Okay. Alright, so we ought to be able to do to this what we did to the other one. I got all line these up, right? I mean, the reason I kind of low on that is last time it was the whole row, and not the whole row worked. I mean, technically, it's more copper cable than plate that for, you know, the build. But for some reason, it just doesn't work. It's hard. As the rest. So I'm going to build this and then kind of expand it as needed. Alright, so got that. And instead of copper cable, we're going to change this to copper south. We'll just go south that. Copper load south. Very full. Delete. Copy that. And send you off. I'll do the same for that. Send you off. These are still working, but well, we can send them off. Let's get these guys down here first. Going. So I'll paste the schedule for each of those. So power. I did paste them right. Just in case. Alright, should be able to send you. I forgot this is not here. Forgot. I think I have to drive that. Manually, or I'm going to tell you just turn that off. You don't normally want that because you don't want trains coming that way. That whoops. That train's gonna be wonky. Actual train coming by my place. Get a little more oomph. Did I just hit something? Train coming in hit something. Manual stop. This almost exploded. Don't you stop at that chain signal, dude. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish you healing. Come on. Do it manually if I have to. Oh, shoot. Darn it. Turning this off, turn that off for both of them. Alright, turn that on. Just have to manually drive it past that point. will still be stopped. I think I gave it enough oomph. Nope. Yeah, should have left it manual. There it goes. Alright, so we don't need this anymore. Doesn't hurt anything to leave it, I suppose. I don't think so. Put you back on automatic. What are you? Copper. And where did you come from? Here, I guess. Yeah, you're welcome to take that iron from me. Let's convert you. Now we've rerouted all our trains. Just kind of looking at ink. This one down here. And we send you out. I can't pick you guys up because I'm full to the gills. Let's come up here so you guys can grab iron from me. Actually, you know what? I can at least do that. So how are we doing copper plate wise? So we got 16K on hand. Copper plate. All empty. Oh. I don't know how I got it all. Right. As I suspected, it's not quite enough copper cable being made, but I was willing to err on the side of caution. You know, we'll probably be tweaking this for a while. So let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't remember. I think I did the side, but 8, guess not. One of the ones we did change a little bit ago. Still having a little trouble keeping up with the cover cable. Let's go to the other side. This has covered cable still. Cover load. Cover load, cover load, cover load. Cable load. I'll have to watch for that train. I mean, it's not a blunder or anything, it's just have to kind of watch it. The other disadvantage of going after cables is, yes, it was 32,000. Takes longer to load than plate. I'm not sure what I'm down here for. Go right in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the train's headed out. Show up here somewhere soon. Alright. Just pull into the top stop. Let's copy that train. Join manual. Paste. Should be all of them out. So these all should have 10 now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And we should watch this. We don't have much copper plate on hand here, so we just got a lot on incoming, so it's not a very good yardstick. This one just had copper cable. It's still having copper cable unload. I think this one's doing all right. It sometimes gets close to 0 or at 0. I think go with one more. It's kind of the same situations before. These aren't quite working all the time. If we got ahead. See that insert is working non-stop. I mean, look at that, 40K on hand. It's actually an interesting problem. I'm going to keep these working a little bit longer. In fact, where there's power pole, I might need those circuits. Power poles in there. Keep those working all the time. He does what's cool. Four left. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's interesting. I wonder if this, how much this helps. able to expel copper cable. So these guys literally work non-stop. Should help. Aren't you doing anything? Seriously, aren't you doing anything? I have copper. No. I'm pasting those down. Somehow screwed things up. Of course, I run out of copper. I haven't quite done that yet, but we've got iron ore trains. No iron ore trains. Or copper ore trains. We don't need 4 copper trains coming here anymore. Reroute. Can't pronounce the R for some reason. That doesn't make sense. What's going on here? This guy's not working. I think it's because there's like a copper cable on the, or copper plate on the inserter. Or vice versa, so you kind of got to look at all these. One's not working when it should. It's just because the inserter's holding the wrong type when pasting down the blueprint. Alright, so I'm gonna... a little easier if I just copy this whole thing. Not sure how translatable this will be. I mean, technically they're all the same blueprint, but variations happen. Basically, I want to get the power poles, and see there's that one there that's kind of lower. So there's the... and then we got to go through and fix the inserters. And then also fix their chests. So they can just click on the chests themselves to make sure these guys are all requesting anything. Yeah. It's gotta be a ton of copper plate just headed this way. So like you. The train must come all the way down this way over. So another copper plate train. Nope. Gotta watch these things are working. It's probably got the wrong item, and it did. So it's that one. Clear out the wrong items. It's alright if I pick up the right items, and any bots will replace. Or will these bots will be taken from my trash slots? Make some more chests. I just gotta look for somebody not working. It's working. This works out, we can translate it to our bigger outpost. Check these chests up here. That one. I wonder how I reached that. It's a long reach thing. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That's wrong, that's wrong. I'm supposed to have iron into copper cables. interesting how this one power pole that's in the wrong spot is actually really helping. Oh, this has got no output. Oh, there's a bit of water right there. Interesting. Never even noticed. That guy's never produced anything till now. Let's make sure each of these are working. Working. Not that one. And down here, it's really these copper cable ones that are might be concerning. But they're all working. All right. Really hard to see when all the spots are pulling stuff from me. Kind of looking to make sure all these are working. Copper cables are working, except for that one. You're not working. You're not working. Working. Not working. It looks good. Chests look good. Have my provider chest 16. I think that's enough to get the rest of these. Make another handful. Alright. I need to rotate that. Okay, make sure they're working. Not working. this row, not working. Not working. Not working. Alright, I think just one more. Go down to the bottom. That one wasn't working. Saw that pretty much right away. This one's not working. This is some provider chests. What's that one? Well, I think it's good. I'm gonna kind of peruse things. If the inserters are swinging, it's a good sign. Or the machine itself is moving. I hate to get all the way back to base and go, oh man, there's one still not doing it, or it's a long way back to base. Center of base anyways. Technically this whole place is my base. It's good. Say he's working. He only has one type in his chest. That means he's processed that. If his output bins are empty, that's also a possible sign he's not working. That chest is, these chests have some wrong items in them. Is that this row or up here? These ones have copper plate in them. Not quite quite sure why, but they do. It's probably when I switched it over initially. Copper plate does not make a green circuit. What about up here? That going on? I don't see it. Same with these. Nope. Nope. It's only this row because this whole row was the whole top row on each one. Back row, whichever way you want to look at it, was all copper cableette. So we're processing our copper plate like fast. As far as I can tell, everything's working. Of course, maybe I skimmed where I shouldn't have skimmed or something like that. This is probably mostly all copper plate, except for these guys go in there. Well, you know, it'd still be copper plate. Of course, I'm going into space science. I'm so surprised some of these still haven't backed up. They're all maxed out at 40K. 40K, 40K, 40K. What's that? Some of these are... These ones at 40K, like how much does a silo hold? Like putting a circuit on or something on that, like if chests are full, don't insert. Suppose that train's over here. I might be able to run there. Yeah, much. Send you to... What's this iron doing? This might be... Oh, I got a whole ton of copper cable on me. Should have this on auto trash. Or at least... Seriously, he only got 2K on him. It's got 0, 0, 2K. Is that the max? Or will he just keep going? It's been maxed out for since I set the limits on the chess. I've always controlled with circuits. I've never just let this thing fill up, so I don't really know. It's an easy way to solve this. Really easy way to solve this. 500,000. Just connect this to the network. Connect. Enable. Space science lesson. God, even 500,000 is like way too much. And we'll just leave it at that. So this is enabled. I guess we gotta wire that. Is that on red? Oh, really? I have to reset that. Yeah. Okay. Not hard to set circuits. Just kind of surprised when I connected that to the network, it didn't count that. I suppose it's because it didn't consider the amount in the requester chess as well. So since no satellite's getting loaded, that won't launch. In some small measure will catch up supplies like blue circuits. Because these rocket control units will stop flowing. Low density structures will stop flowing. That will help steel and iron. Rocket fuel, not that concerned. It's literally like oil from here into there, and rocket fuel to here. Like, it's not that a big a process. And the trains feeding this will come off the network. Where are you going? Cumberland South. Really? You came out of here all the way around to here. To come through here to come back out this way? The heck are you going? He went all the way around to hit this waypoint. To go into copper cables. Oh my god, I love routing sometimes. And that's the bad thing about setting a waypoint is the trains really get screwed up. But setting these back to copper seems to have done the trick. Oh, what this has 85,000 plate on hand. Not a whole ton of copper cable. Alright, some of our outposts have worn out. Oh, this guy finally? Oh, hallelujah. Alright, so we can... This is station 11, right? Double check before I delete it off this guy. Dink. Alright, let's... All those put back. The one construction bot there will fix that. So, finally deleted that off of yarn. This cold spot up here should be done. He's still got stuff on his chest, so let's turn off his enable disable so the train shows up. We can pick things. And here comes a tree now. I think that should load everything from these chests. Yep. Alright. Rename you. Empty. And send this to my. And send it to Cole, but he's. Alright. He's not quite full. Let's send him to grab some more coal. Stone. So this guy here. The chest's empty. The chests are empty. Sweet. Delete that stop. And rename the station. Nice. Yeah, I've been waiting for that sucker to empty for a long time. Long time.